So the first tip for developers is know why and never forget that. And what this is simply saying is know why you are in this, know why you are a developer, know why you are trying to reach that peak, know why you are constantly burning the midnight oil, and never forget it, because there are times where you would have challenges, you would have issues, you would run into errors that are way above you, and you feel like you need to quit. You feel like you need to drop everything you're doing and just move on with your life because life is not worth it anymore. But then, if you remember why you were actually in the game the first place, you would never drop your tools, you would never walk away, because you remember that you have not achieved that goal, and even if you have achieved it, you haven't achieved it well enough. The next point is plant your feet firm in the sand. And what this is saying is you need to have a very solid foundation. You need to have a place that is concrete where you came from. Your roots need to be solid, because how you simply get to the top is by constantly building upon the skills you have, constantly working on the skills you have. And when you are very comfortable with them, you expand into more functions and more languages and more technologies and more services, because now you are trying to achieve things that you can see. You just need to understand what they are. And how you will get there is by simply building upon your skills. Take one step at a time, the second step, third step, and keep it going till you get to where you are going. But make sure your feet are planted firmly in the sand. The next is develop the habit to research and test. You need to know where a lot of answers could be hiding. Things that would help you in certain instances where you need to find out the answer to something, or you need to figure out how some things work and you can't at that moment figure it out. So you need some external resource to drive or motivate you. And you would have found out these tools by constantly going around the internet, going on articles, going on blogs, going to channels, going to sites, anywhere. The more you test them out, the more efficient you become in that particular line, because you would encounter errors that were not explicitly stated in that tutorial, in that documentation. And when you do, you would actually figure out how to overcome those errors. And if people come across those errors in the future, you could actually be there to help them and guide them from it. The next is stay consistent, because practice makes perfect. Use a scheduler. And this is very, very direct. It simply means continue the grind, continue coding, continue doing the work, continue putting in the sweat, continue putting in the sweat. Because eventually you're going to get very good at it and you'll be surprised the things you can do. And what is going to help you and what could help you is using a scheduler. And this doesn't have to be anything automated. It might be, if you want to have fun with it, I mean, you could do that. But you can make it very simple. You could write a particular schedule that runs for the time that you find most convenient. And leaning to the point beneath this, we're going to go into how that works too. But here, use a scheduler, use something to plan your time and stick to it. And that's how you stay consistent, by planning and doing what you plan. The next point says know your learning pattern and improve on that. So this is something that also leans on the top about you being consistent. So what this is saying is know how you learn best. Know what conditions help you assimilate quicker and improve on that. So if you are the type that before you sleep you are very sharp, get a podcast that would be plugged into your ears all through the night. Let them be talking about some things, probably HTML, it could be CSS, it could be JavaScript, it could be anything. Let them talk about things that involve what you are currently working on. Now will be the time for you to understand what works for you best and find a way to improve it. The next is pseudocode your projects. And what this is simply saying is, before you write any complex logic, before you write particular implementation, write it out in plain text. I want the user to be able to log into their account and go straight to the settings because they have not used the app for the first time. Write it out. Then you think of how you're going to implement it. And the thing about this is, once you write it out, the route, the functions, the methods, the particular implementation that you require will come to you. So write out your functions, write out your implementations. The next point is, be ready to fail a lot more times than you succeed. Straight to the point. Be ready to fail, because it's going to be a storm of failure. Your scripts, your code, your application is going to crash a lot of times. You're going to have so many errors that you might want to smash your PC. But don't forget your why. So by not forgetting your why, you need to embrace your errors and learn from them. Next point is, enjoy the learning process. This is not a do or die affair. This is simply learning, and it should be fun. You should space it out, and you should find time to enjoy other things aside from coding. Enjoy the process. Whenever you are coming to your laptop, know that you're about to make some beautiful things, but then you can only put yourself in that mindset, in that place, in that frame of mind when you see learning as an enjoyable process. So space out your learning. Next is, find where you are comfortable, where you perform best, and own that area. There are so many careers in tech that you could get lost easily, but find where you are comfortable at. Find where you believe you can perform best. Find somewhere that you know, maybe you don't know yet, but you're still trying to find out. You're still trying to understand how this whole thing works. And in that case, you can simply do that by listening to podcasts. You could listen to podcasts of maybe senior full stack engineers talking about how their work is. You can listen to Flutter engineers if you want to do mobile applications. You can also listen to other types of podcasts that would appeal to your interests. That way you have a sense of what their industry is about, the kind of information that they share, how they share it, the kind of people that you will be meeting there. So when you find that area that you're very good at and you believe you'll perform greatly in, you go in there and you gradually take up space till it's all yours. Next, be in competition with only yourself. Don't, because you see some guy doing some amazing stuff, and probably because you are a few years older than he is, you are thinking, there's no way I can actually do this because this guy is too good. I'm not good enough. I can never be good enough. And what you're failing to acknowledge is the fact that she might have had a lot more practice. She might have been coding since she was 5. He could have been coding since he was in high school, and you just started 2 years ago. So don't think about other people and compare yourself to them. Think about other people and imagine how you could do the things they do. And if you cannot do those things or imagine it properly, you can reach out to them. Structure a particular message that shows how you appreciate who they are and how they have impacted the community. Appreciate their goals, appreciate the things that they appreciate, and tell them that you want to be someone that does the kind of things that they do. Very straightforward. No one that has a good heart would not see that and not want to help you. The next point, ask for help when you need it. Whenever you think you are in a gridlock where you can't figure the way out, you can't understand a particular error, you can't understand why your code is not doing a certain thing, or things are just not working out the way you expect them to, ask for help. There are people that have gone through the things you are going through now. Ask for help. And when you are asking for help, make sure to use screenshots, also with a very proper description of what you have done and what you're trying to do, because people are not just going to read a huge block of text and try to figure out what you could be doing. There are so many implementations, so many things that you could be trying to do with code that they can't really understand it till you tell them and you show them what you've done and how the errors are coming to you. Or second to the last is factor in the DIY concept, which means do not repeat yourself. When you're writing code, writing particular functions, or writing things that will do certain things, do not repeat yourself. There will be clearer examples the further we go into the front end. And the last of the last, which is the best of all and the most true that you should not forget, is you are smarter than you think. Never give up. And now we go for the tips for the workspace. So first of all, check the announcement channel constantly for updates. There would always be new information that you need to know and you would need to engage in. So please check out the announcement channel as much as you can. 2 times a day would work. Then the next is engage other students at the playground. The playground is where you can simply talk about anything, even not related to coding, and we just talk, have fun, share drinks, eat pepper soup, catfish is served later in the night, and we just catch our fun. So engage people there, talk and have your fun. Next one, if someone posts a problem that you can solve, help them out. Please check the assistance channel from time to time, because if someone posts anything there, it will be awesome if you can help them out. Last one is, if you need help with anything, post it in the assistance channel, because I will be looking through to help out anyone that requires assistance. I'm very sure people that are here that understand will be willing to help you as well. So always ask for help, and don't forget, as I stated earlier, use screenshots and a proper message about what you are trying to do. So now we have come to the end of the video, and first off, I want to thank you very much for being here, for actually being part of the program as well, because we were meant to start this on Tuesday, and for some reason things dragged on till Wednesday and today Thursday. So I made sure I didn't sleep yesterday night. The morning I was up trying to finish this video and a few more videos that are coming up. So to show my appreciation, there's going to be a giveaway on Sunday where there will be a quiz, and well, the rules will be stated then. So like I said, please pay attention to the announcement channel, because that is where information will be dropping. To give you a little expo, you would need to go through the materials that I have provided, because here is where the answers will be. So go through as much as you can. I highly recommend that you go through Free Code Camp. I'm not going to say more than that. And on that note, I'm going to end the video, and we'll be seeing you on Monday when I release the first video, which is the HTML 101 and 102. Have a lovely weekend.